Our next story comes from the Vatican. Pope Francis has allowed priests to bless same-sex couples. This is the most significant advance for LGBTQ Catholics so far. It's a big shift for the queer community. You see, the Vatican has long said it could not bless same-sex couples. Doing so would undermine the church doctrine, which believes that marriage is only between a man and a woman. This new rule does not disagree either, though. It does not consider the blessing a marriage sacrament. It simply allows priests to bless relationships still considered sinful. This new rule has invited mixed reactions. The question is, does this make the church more pastoral? Our next report tells you.
The Vatican has announced a landmark ruling. Pope Francis has formally allowed Catholic priests to bless same-sex couples. He said, priests should not prevent or prohibit the Church's closeness to people in every situation in which they might seek God's help through a simple blessing. This is good news, but such blessings should not offer the impression of a marriage. According to the Church, marriage is still a union of a man and a woman. That does not change. And the blessing does not mean that a same-sex union is being approved of, which is why the blessings can be given on a case-by-case basis. They can be imparted during a meeting with a priest, a visit to the shrine, during a pilgrimage, or as a prayer recited in a group. This ruling has invited mixed reactions from the world over. Some are unhappy.
I think the Pope is on the wrong side.
Others are looking at the caveats attached to this move. For them, it is a disappointment.
This is not the acknowledgement of marriages, which I hope one day the Catholic Church progresses in that sense.
But for the rest, this is a strong message of inclusivity.
It's really the first time that there's been any sort of opening to blessing same-sex couples, so it's a big deal.
This is a step so that this Catholic community in the world, who are millions, have a less discriminatory treatment and a more inclusive treatment in favor of people of sexual diversity.
In the past few decades, Christianity has taken steps to become more inclusive. Christian denominations have allowed marriages of same-sex couples. They have ordained openly gay clergy. But the debates have only persisted, and the Roman Catholic Church has long been seen as the least likely to change. But this year, there has been a burst of activity on the LGBTQ front. In October, the Pope allowed transgender people to be baptized. He also suggested the possibility of blessing gay unions, reversing the 2021 Vatican ruling of God cannot bless sin. Now, the new ruling is clearly a big jump forward, and the most definitive so far.
This is an important step forward and also a tool to work against discrimination and violence that exists in many countries towards our families.
It reflects the vision of Pope Francis to be more pastoral and less rigid. And it is clearly a sign that a hardline stance on LGBTQ issues is not acceptable anymore.